Bro, what the heck is that, gamers? Underpass, maybe flooded or slippery. Oh. The Y is faded out. Yo, what's poppin', gamers? I legit thought it was slipper season. I was about to pull my slippers out and affect everything, okay? Gamers, I made a game-changing video yesterday. I was talking about lots of things, but then at the end of the video, I hinted at today's video. I was talking about consistency and reliability and why you don't want to be consistent. You don't want consistency, okay? You want reliable gameplay. Throw consistency out the window. Gamers, if you want to be consistent, you have the wrong mindset. You're completely wrong. You're confused. You want to be good. You want to be reliable. You want to be game-changing clutch. You don't want to be consistent. Consistency is a trick, okay? It's an ego trick. Much like a bunch of other things, like choking is another one of these ego tricks, okay? You don't want to choke, well, it's the same thing. You don't want to be consistent, all right? It's an alpha-based way of thinking, and it's gonna make you lose, okay? We're gonna talk about this, gamers, because it's gonna seriously upgrade your gameplay when you stop trying to be consistent and you start trying to win, okay? Pro gamers! You're just not gonna believe this, gamers. Area closed. To public use until, wow, they closed this off from middle schoolers, and tweakers they can't skate anymore, dude. That's messed up. That's not cool, okay? Who's gonna spread graffiti? Somebody seriously has a problem with spelling. Should go back to school. This one's funnier though. It's a grammar issue. Actually, I was wrong. It's just a spread love snail. It's actually kind of cool. Honestly, I'm down with that one. Real though, it should say spread WQQQQWRT and natural gameplay. Okay, remember those words, natural gameplay. It's gonna change everything. Your behaviors are gonna radically skyrocket. Now, gamers, we were just talking about consistency and why it's basically just an F. It's basically just an F. It's disguised as a C-, but it's an F. Here's the problem with consistency, guys. It's output based. Okay, it's making you lose. If you are last place 100 times in a row, you're the most consistent player on the planet. That's not good. That doesn't require skill, that doesn't require talent, that doesn't require anything, okay? That requires you to intentionally lose. But you're the most consistent player on the planet, so just throw consistency out the window. It's a trap. It's caging your ideas. It's caging you, okay? It's caging your mindset. It's caging up your success and your results. It's trapping you, dude. Untrap yourself, uncage yourself. Get rid of your chains. The consistency chains, guys. And you might be thinking, well, like, that's an extreme example. Wow, I'm not favoring consistency above winning, WQ. I favor winning, but in order to get to winning, I'm being consistent, right? That's not true at all. In order to get to winning, you need to win. Being consistent isn't gonna make you win, all right? Winning is gonna make you win. If you're good at winning, if you're winning a lot, if you know how to win, guess what? You'll become consistent because you're consistently in first place. You're constantly in first place. You're constantly succeeding, okay? That's how you become consistent. All right, that's how you win. Being in last place, being in second place, being in fifth place 100 times in a row isn't doing anything for you. Who cares? Here's why. This is the problem. In order to become consistent, you have to get results, measure those results, and then you draw a number out, and you're like, well, I need to maintain this number. What? Why would you do that to yourself? Okay, guys, that's output based. What you need to do is learn how to do something. You need to learn how to actualize something. You need to learn actionability, right? You need to learn in order how to guarantee behaviors. Watch my last video, watch the strategy. I took a room that's impossible. I took a room that nobody can do. I found a consistent way to do it. Now keep in mind, I said the word consistent, right? If you happen to be consistent, it's fine. I happen to get first place every single attempt I do. That's fine, right? If I'm always getting first place, that's good. It's not the goal though. I'm not prioritizing consistency. I don't care about consistency. I care about naturalization. I care about actionability. What I'm doing, when I find the strategy, I'm like, wow, this is actionable. I can do this in a run. This is reliable. This is consistent. This is incredibly fast, right? This is incredibly fast. This is so good. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick up the strat. Now, it's not theoretically the fastest strat, which maybe that's my next video. Never theoretically optimize something. Ever do that. Okay, because that's even lower than an F. That's definitely the worst way to approach anything, okay, especially speedrunning. Never think about something theoretically. It makes no sense. What you want to do is think about something naturally, right? So we're in the natural world, okay? Hopefully we can see some ducks at the duck lake. We already saw some graffiti at the skate park, at the middle schooler slash tweaker skate park. So maybe we'll see some ducks at the duck lake. Bro, the fat spider over here, gamers. Look at that natural world. Literally living in the natural world, okay? Part of the natural ecosystem right here. Look at that beast. Very neat. Okay, natural world, literally life, okay? Proof of life. Spiders are proof of success. They're proof of life, okay? Theoretically, doesn't matter, right? Consistency, output-based, reactive solutions don't matter. Proof of existence is truth. Now, gamers, what does this boil down to? And I was alluding to this earlier, gamers. Reactive solutions versus proactive solutions. And this is the problem with consistency. It's always a reactive solution. It's never a proactive solution. This is a major issue when it comes to gameplay optimization, success farming, a success factory, gameplay optimization. You want a proactive solution. You don't want reactive solutions. Consistency is a reactive process. It's a reactive solution. It's basically saying like, wow, okay, I failed. Put some pharmaceuticals out here, guys. That's reactive. That's a reactive. There's pharmaceuticals out here, bro. Probably empty. Obviously I don't do drugs. I'm not like on that garbage anyway. Like gamers, let's say you pile up a bunch of numbers and you do a bunch of runs and then you look at the stats and you're like, wow, I'm becoming really consistent, right? Or that, like, this is a reactive approach, right? You're looking at numbers reactively. What you're doing is, and this is how it plays into your ego, you might even try to farm these numbers or change the numbers so it affects your stats, right? This isn't helpful for your gameplay at all. This doesn't do anything. Where a proactive solution would be like to figure out what to do and then go into the game and know what to do. So you might even become very inconsistent with this strategy because 99% of your runs are dead due to RNG. That's how speedruns work. You just don't care. I don't care to solve the problem. Now, I also argue to try your best every single run, so if you're not able to do that, that's fine though. So you might go into 99% of runs, you just don't care, they just die, right? And then what happens is you go into the one run because you're looking for a very specific thing. You go into that one run, you get the good RNG, and you know what to do in order to succeed in the speed run because you've been creating natural, reliable, recreatable strats. And so you're able to go in the rest of the speed run and capitalize on it, and then you get a PB. So you have one very good outlier PB and then a bunch of really bad PBs. Well, you've completely thrown away any sense of consistency, but it's like, what did you gain? You gained the world record, the best run in the world, which is the only thing anybody cares about. So why are you judging your skill in a speed run based on your consistency? That's not even really it's not a factor. Nobody cares about that. It doesn't matter at all. I mean, on top of that, why does anybody even care about consistency at all? Like, that's just not something I understand, because let's look at a speed run. Like, if you do a speed run, consistency is not a personality trait. It's not a behavior. It's not controlling your success. It's not controlling your life. Like, people aren't consistent based on their personality. That's ludicrous, right? Every single speedrun you can actually break down. Every single video game, every possible video game, you can actually break down into the mechanics. You can break down to a fundamental level every single frame and every single input and every single pixel. Right? Every single video game has this in common. So no matter what, it's always going to come down to behaviors. It's not going to come down to a personality. So if you, in a speedrun, for example, in like, I don't know, some Mario game, if you miss a jump by a single degree in an angle, or you miss a jump by a single frame or a single pixel and then you die, and then you lose a minute on your run, you've lost any sense of consistency here. But it was one frame that you missed the whole entire run on. So it's like, why are you thinking consistency is a personality trait when it's not a personality trait? When it is, it's actually just an effect. If you add up all the pixels and frames in a speed run, that would create whether you're consistent or not, and then that doesn't even gauge whether you win or not. I mean, there's tons of speedrunners on every single leaderboard that are very consistent, or they're the most consistent runner, and they're nowhere near the top. They're either not at the top or they're nowhere near the top, and it's like, Well, it seems like being consistent isn't valuable in speedrunning. Now, maybe if speedrunning wasn't about getting world records, maybe if it was about like how many average runs you could do, but the problem with that is I still think consistency would be bad because it's a reactive approach. If speedrunning was about how many good runs you could get in a row, that's what mattered, like in a miracle world, what you would do is you would have people who are smart and proactive and good, and they would create gameplay that fulfills these conditions, right? And then they would end up being consistent because now, you know, we've warped the rules a little bit here, but the people who are thinking, I need to be consistent, they are not thinking forward. They're not thinking like a winner. They're not putting themselves into a position where they're capitalizing on success. That's not happening. And you constantly hear people say, I need to be consistent. I need to be more consistent. And I'm thinking to myself, no, that's not true. You need to start winning. Every single player that's like amazing, like God tier, and you're like, wow, that guy's good at the game. I want to be like him. He's really, really good. Every single sport, you know, chess, all video games. There's always that guy who's like really good, really, really, really stable, consistent, strong. And you're like, I want to be like him. I need to be consistent, right? Because I'm too inconsistent. I need to be more consistent. No, you need to be better at the game. Guys, imagine if you're a god at the game. If you're a god at the game you play, you're rarely dropping inputs. You know exactly how to perform on certain things. Like, you know what you're doing. There's a lot of problems solved. There's a lot of kinks worked out. So what's going to happen is you're going to perform better. The goal isn't to become more consistent, it's to become better at the game. Let's go into another example even. Okay, let's say you're on the verge of a PB. You're on the verge of a PB and you keep choking runs, or you keep suiciding, or like you keep self-destructing, and you like barely can't get your God run, but you're like on the verge of PBing, like getting a really good PB, like a game-changing PB. And you're telling yourself, I need to become more consistent. And I'm thinking, this makes no sense. This doesn't make any sense on like 3 different fronts, right? So the number one, this makes no sense because consistency is not a personality trait. It's a combination of the gameplay, right? You add up all the gameplay, you churn out consistency if your gameplay wants to give you that, right? So it's like, well, that doesn't even make sense. You can't just radically become more consistent by changing no strats. You change 0 strats, you change 0 approach to any of your strats, and you're radically going to become more consistent. I'm confused. Number 2, another thing with consistency is like if you're trying to win a tournament or get a world record, or I mean literally anything in competition, you pretty much need to make gambles. You need to be able to make gambles and confidently, and literally make a gamble. Take the loss, because if it's like a 60-40 gamble in your favor and you either need it to win or you almost need it to win, you need to be able to take the gamble, front the loss, and just kind of move on. And it's like someone who's highly favoring consistency, what they're going to do is be like, no, I won't take the gamble, but then they have no chance of success. Somebody who wants to favor the gamble, but their gameplay is not natural, what they're going to do is take the gamble because it's fun, you know, because it's epic, and then they'll get nervous, right? They'll choke because, guys, let me give you a little advance. Let me give you an advance. When you don't have natural gameplay and you take a gamble and you succeed on the gamble, what happens is you get too nervous to actually keep playing, because it's like you start freaking out, like, wow, I did something way out of my league, right? Your gameplay's not natural enough. So in my opinion, and what I'm saying here is that there's an element of gameplay where stability and recreatability and playing under your limits is very valuable, and it can turn you into a god. But it's not, consistency isn't how you get there. You don't attain that by consistency. You don't attain that by making your gameplay dumber, right? By making your gameplay slower and dumber and less effective. That's not how you attain that. Rigging the system so that the numbers favor you, but you don't get the results that you really want, that's not how you get better at a game. That's pointless, right? So that's what I'm trying to get at with this video. I want you guys to, there's a very big difference between reliability and consistency. And when you make your strats reliable and natural, they become consistent to a degree, right? At a certain level, of course they become consistent. That's what reliability is, right? I guess the point, when you make your strategies consistent, they don't necessarily become reliable. That's another way to look at it. It's a reactive versus proactive approach to the situation. And all the time people will say, well, isn't natural gameplay just consistency? Like, I already attempted to do that. I'm like, no, it's not how it works, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Unless I'm doing Final Fantasy VIII tomorrow, but I'll see you guys in the future with another game-changing gameplay video. Okay, guys, this is freaking insane. I really do hope that we radically improve the majority of gamers' gameplay through thinking, creativity, and fundamental logic and reasoning, guys. I'm gonna leave you guys with a little special hack. It's just a game hack. If you change your brain, it changes how your behaviors, right? And it changes the results you get from the game. If you do it correctly, if you change your brain correctly, you're gonna see a huge spike in the behaviors in the game, right? You're gonna see a huge spike in your results. And the trick to that is to build your understanding your brain around logic. Because the gameplay it's truth. Reality it's literally truth. So it's a hack. It's just a free hack. It's just, if you can think logically and structure gameplay around that, you're just winning. You're just free winning. It's just insane. I'll see you guys later though.